get people to come back to analysis. Okay, yes, I can keep you guys keep your users coming back to use your product. We're also going to talk about maybe a few brands that are doing this already and how you can learn from how they are able to achieve this. Some of them are some of the products that you're quite familiar with. One of the things I usually tell junior designers or people just starting out is to always leverage on existing products that's out there. It's like learning from somebody's work, even though you don't have access to their Figma file. But you being able to download their products and use on your phone, you can use that product and learn from it. I always also tell people, especially if you're a designer, that when you're using a product that you know that the designers at this company are probably people that you admire a lot, you should, when you're using that product, pay attention to tiny details. Pay attention to the design. Pay attention to things that you struggle with. Try to learn from them. And also, if you have access to mobbing, that's mobbing.com, I'll drop it in the chat. It's a good resource for um, access to actual apps. I know a lot of people know Dribble, Behance, but on Dribble and Behance, you and Pinterest, you get to see like a lot of designs that are not how do I put it? Just random designs that somebody came up with and posted. But on this platform, you get to see applications that people are actually using, and they've gone through series of rigorous usability testing, and they are constantly improving this product. That's the best way to learn as a designer. So let's begin. So let's talk about why are some products part of your lives. Like you've gotten used to some products. You just every day you use them. When you wake up, you pick up those apps after prayers for those that pray, or after whatever you do, going to the gym. When you wake up, there are some applications that have become like a daily part of your life. We live in a digital world, and a lot of people live their life out there on the internet. You know, we have our phones with us. We have several apps that are very dear to us, and some of these applications have become um, so useful to us that we actually use them, to carry out activities. I can't imagine myself maybe going to somewhere I don't know and I don't have Google Maps. Like I use Google Maps a lot, especially when I'm trying to figure out a place I've never been. I think I was talking to someone one day and I was like, imagine if there was no Google Maps. So I'll be stopping and be asking everybody, hey, sorry, I'm looking for so place. I remember growing up, the Google Maps wasn't really popular back then. So I mean that was what we're using. But now it's so easy. I don't have to ask anybody questions. I can just get into the car and go wherever I want to go. And maybe when I get close to the location, I can call. So some of these apps have become part of our lives. An example is WhatsApp. I mean, almost everybody here has WhatsApp. We know TikTok. Some of us use Spotify. Some use YouTube Music. Some YouTube. Different apps like this. So these products have become part of our lives because of the care and the attention to detail that the people that design these products put into making this product. They are constantly revamping and iterating on these products, trying to make it better. Sometimes they make mistakes, but that's part of the job. It's part of the design process. Design is an unending process. No design is ever finished. No design is ever completed. No design is ever done. That's why you're always getting updates and you're always seeing new things on WhatsApp. You see Instagram updating, and then there's always one update here and there. And also, that's also because there's competition out there. Instagram is trying to compete with TikTok. WhatsApp is trying to stay ahead of Telegram and iMessage. There's competition out there, so they're all fighting for your attention. So we're going to be looking at how these guys are able to do it. A good example is TikTok. I know a lot of people use TikTok, even though me, I'm not really like someone who uses TikTok very well. I think I'm more of an Instagram person, but nobody can deny the fact that TikTok has been very successful. And I hear it's very addictive. And this is because they've mastered the art of user retention. They've mastered how to get people to keep coming, to keep using their products. Also, it's not just entertainment apps. I know I've been talking about some entertainment apps. I don't know if we all know Duolingo. Duolingo is an application that helps you to learn a new language. Duolingo also is very good at getting your attention to use their product. If you sign up on Duolingo, they have a way of making you come back, and they have these things called daily streaks that keep you, coming back. They send you notifications, reminders to make sure that you complete your classes, your lessons. Another example is Amazon. Amazon doesn't look like a very fancy, pretty website, but Amazon works, and it's been there for years. It works, and people keep going back to Amazon. They use Amazon to shop a lot, and it solves their problem. And that is always the reason why we use most of these products. There's always a reason why you're using these products. Apart from the fact that, oh, this product looks good. The question is it functional? Is it doing what you need it to do? Because if that product looks pretty at first, when it begins to frustrate you, at some point you're going to go back to that other one that is probably not looking as pretty as this one, but it works. There will be a day where you'll be done with the old pretty look. There's something called forgiveness in design. People can tend to forgive some errors in your design. If it's new, maybe the product is new and it's really fancy, and people are trying to use your product, but the moment they keep encountering um, some form of frustrations, something not working well, after a while, they will go back to that one that works for them. So we're going to look at what makes a product sticky, like what makes people come back. So how do you design these experiences that make users to want to return instead of just visiting once and leaving? I'm sure we all have applications that we probably downloaded one time and we've deleted it that same day. That's because we didn't get convinced, or we didn't get the product didn't catch your attention. You just downloaded it and it was just there, and then you deleted it back. We've all have we have that experiences. And then there are products that the first time you download them, you just started using it and you're fine. So the first thing is understanding user behavior. This is how you try to um, this is how you begin your journey. And I'm sure we are all familiar with the design thinking process. I know that the first step is empathy. That is where you get to understand the target audience. That is where you get to understand the people that you're designing for. That is where you get to understand the motivations of those people, their behavior, their way of life. And then you can use this information to design these products in a way that you are able to actually capture their attention and solve their problem. People use products that solve a problem, fulfill a need, or entertain them. So the better you understand this behavior, the easier it is to create a product that becomes part of their daily routine. I'll give you an example. Instagram. Think about why you keep opening Instagram multiple times in a day. Every time you receive a like, a comment, or a message, Instagram sends you a notification. This acts as a trigger. When you open the app, you take an action by scrolling. But what keeps you coming back is what we call variable reward. And sometimes you see an exciting new content, sometimes you don't. But this, you keep checking because that's what you expect. You know, the moment you get on Instagram, after you click on that notification, you probably want to see a favorite skit maker or a favorite content creator that you like, and then you keep scrolling. And then these products have gotten so good that they understand your behavior over time, and they know what exactly they need to show you. Let's say, for example, you've been checking someone's page, or you and someone has been chatting on IG for a while. You notice when you get on IG after a while, if that person updates a post or a reel, that'll be the first thing you see. So the algorithm has seen that you have been talking to this person and you're probably interested in what the person is posting. So it brings it up so that when you get in, I mean, that's like the first thing you can use to catch your attention. And then once they catch your attention, the next thing is they want you to scroll. Also, when you're posting and you're liking and you're engaging, it's like you're investing in the platform. So it makes it harder to leave. You put up a post, and then when you do that, you want to see who liked it, you want to see who commented. If it's a story, you want to see who checked your story. So all these things, they put them in place so that you can keep coming back. It's all based on the behavioral psychology principle called the hook model. It's called the hook model. Trigger, action, variable reward, and investment. That's what I just explained using the Instagram ideology. So they send you a trigger, which is like a notification to like get you come back. Then you perform an action by clicking on it. When you do that, the variable reward is they now show you something you would likely want to see. And then the investment part is you also now probably like or you comment. And then you could leave a comment and then the person comments and replies you. And then that they notify you that the person has replied you. And then you have to come back. So they've come up with different systems that keep you coming back to their platform. So have that in mind. First one is the hook model, the trigger, the action, the variable reward, and investment. And this is not just limited to social media apps. You can use this principle for other platforms too. TikTok also does a very good job with this. So when you open TikTok, you don't have to search for content. In fact, even if you download it the first time, they have this for you page that immediately shows you highly personalized videos. And it makes you instantly engaged. The unpredictable nature of the video will come next, or what will come next rather, creates a sense of excitement. You want to swipe, you don't know what's gonna come, but they keep giving you like what you want. And then you find yourself scrolling for like or swiping for like 20 minutes when you said you just wanted to check something. I find it happening to me when I go on Instagram a lot. So I try to not check my Instagram until maybe when I'm less busy. So that's that on understanding user behavior. Another thing, okay, yeah, I think another point is to also analyze user behavior through data and feedback, and also identify drop-off points and areas of improvement. So what you want to do is you want to set up a system where you can gather data and get feedback from people. I'll give you an instance. We thank God we're designers. So Figma has this user feedback um, feature that allows you to send them a complaint. Sometimes some people even tag them on Twitter. And then you notice that you had this problem on Figma, and then maybe 2 months later, they fixed it. That's what they're doing. They've set up systems in place to be able to gather data and feedback from people. And then once they identify this feedback and they figured out what probably a lot of people are complaining about, they fix it. and then they release an update. Sometimes they announce it, sometimes they don't. You just find out that, oh, this thing I was struggling with has been fixed. And then you just like the product. You keep liking the product because you are happy. It's like they're listening to you, or it's like they're aware that you had a problem and they solved it. So it gives you more confidence in that product, and it makes the person using that product to want to stay because, and then you start forgiving them for some things unknowingly because you're like, oh, they'll fix it. They listen, they'll fix it, and it keeps happening, and then you find out that you are stuck with that product for a long time. These are some of the ways that companies keep people glued to their products. Now let's move to okay, I think I already explained the Instagram notification thing. I just put up something here, and then I talked about TikTok already. I was talking, I forgot to scroll. Um, so let's go to the second point, effective onboarding. This is very important. At the beginning of this session, I mentioned um, a case where we've all probably downloaded one application at one point or the other, and we deleted it that same day. Maybe there was a drop-off point, maybe there was some form of friction we had with onboarding, and we struggled a bit with it. We didn't like it, and we were like, "We just let me just delete this app and download something else." So effective onboarding is very important. First impression matter. If users don't immediately understand the value of a product, they will leave and never return. And that's why you see that most products have this set of screens at the beginning. When you download an app, you have this set of screens that give you like a value proposition to into what the application does. Because not everybody knows what the application does. Let me try to show you guys an example of what I'm talking about. Just a minute. Okay, it's space. Okay, let me share my. Let me share what I'm trying to show you guys. Okay, so this is an app called Headspace. I'm very sure not everybody knows what Headspace is. So because of that, they kind of have this set of screens that allow you to like get an idea of what the application can do for you. So you notice it's part of onboarding. You can see signs back meditation, feeling overwhelmed. Let me try to go to their onboarding. So this is how it looks. You download the app. It's breathe in, breathe out. So you're already getting the vibe that, oh, this is like some kind of mental health thing. And then you have this set of screens to welcome you in. Okay, I think they have some of these other things explaining more on what the app does for you. So a lot of applications now do that. Let me check out Klarna. Uh, Klarna is an online shopping and payment platform. Look at that. So everybody is trying to give you some form of value proposition into what the application is about because I know Klarna, but somebody else that doesn't know about it can download it. And then there are sometimes they have some features that people might not know they have. So they want to put their best foot forward. They want to create that first impression in the onboarding process. So they are telling you that, oh, manage your payments and track your deliveries, find and shop stores you love. So you kind of already know what's going on. So now you know that you can manage payments, you can track your deliveries, and you know that you can find and shop stores that you love. I mean, that's the idea. And then the rest of the onboarding, you begin your onboarding process and you you begin your registration. So back to my slide now. Yeah, so effective onboarding is very important. A great onboarding experience should make it easy for people to get started with minimal effort. Another example, Duolingo. Imagine you download Duolingo for the first time. Instead of bombarding you with instruction, what they do is they instantly let you start learning unknowingly. It's like they trick you into learning, just like that. I'll show you what it looks like. You pick a language, you complete a simple first lesson, and immediately you feel like you're making progress already. You start feeling like you can speak the language a bit. This instant reward keeps you motivated to continue. So they kind of like tricked you. Not well, it works. It works, but they made it feel like, oh, you are a superstar. It's not hard. I mean, you're learning already. Let's go to the screens. See what I'm trying to talk about. So let me try to go to the onboarding. So it looks something like this. Hi there, I'm Joe. And then they begin to ask you some questions and they make it easy for you. So it feels like you're learning like right from the start. And then they start building your course for you. Then in between they're asking you some questions like, oh, what did you hear about us? Then they come back to the to why you are there and they're like, how much French do you know? And like, okay, we'll start fresh. So you don't feel exhausted or overwhelmed. It's so easy. And then by the time you learn, by the time you are done, they they already introduce you into like some new words that you can easily pick up before you then close the app and go do something else. So they made onboarding very easy for you. And mind you, when you leave Duolingo, they are gonna send you notifications to come back. They have very effective way of doing that, and a lot of people have testified into how good Duolingo is when it comes to learning a new language. Back to our slide. So another good product that does that is Slack. Slack understands that people can be overwhelmed when joining a new communication tool. I think I should be scrolling my slide. Okay. So they understand that people can be overwhelmed when joining a new communication tool. So instead of forcing people to read long guides, Slack has this chatbot that helps you in your onboarding process. It walks you through the key features in a fun and interactive way, making the experience stress-free and engaging. I don't know if you can see the screen I'm sharing. I can you guys see the Slack image or are you seeing the
No,
effective onboarding? Where you can.
we're just seeing the effective onboarding.
Oh, okay. Let me try to share my screen again. Just a minute. I think I have a good idea. Just, okay. I'm gonna share it again. And, can you guys see my screen well now?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. So they have this chatbot that guides you on your onboarding process. So it doesn't feel overwhelming. Because I know a lot of people over time, people complain that understanding Slack took them a while. In fact, the first time I downloaded Slack, I didn't even understand what was going on. But they've improved their products, they've redesigned, and they have this chatbot that guides you and it tells you where you can send messages to your teammates, it tells you where you can find people, it shows you around. So it's like meeting somebody in a house in a maybe new apartment, and then the person is showing you your neighbors. Oh, this is where your neighbor stays. This is where this guy stays. This is where this guy lives. This is where you. This is the gym. This is where you park your car. This is where you do this. Just like that. So they've improved their onboarding so that you don't download their app and you're frustrated and you leave or you're angry. So that's that. Um, Now let's move on to another thing with personalization. Users are more likely to return to a product that feels uniquely designed for them. The more a product understands a user's interest, the more valuable and engaging that product will become. Users will always return to a product if they feel like it's tailored to their needs and their interests. So the more a product understands the user's preference, the more valuable it is to them. They see it like you just like the product. You just fall in love with it because it feels like the product understands you. I don't know if there's anybody that can say in the comments any product they know that they've used that they just feel like this product understands them. It just works for them. It solves their problem. And one thing about people is people are constantly searching for things. If I find a product that works for me, I use it. But if I come across another thing that's better, I'll move on. We don't have loyalty like that to some of these products. Once there's a new thing, everybody wants to try it out. Everybody wants to jump ship. Look at the transition from to go to BBM, from BBM to WhatsApp and iMessage. We've come far. We are constantly, moving on. And one thing you should note as designers is the problem of people do not go away. They don't change. I'll give you an example. Ever since man found himself on earth, man has one problem that's very important. Man wants to move from one place to the other. Over the years, man has been finding different ways to do this. First time man started working, I mean, that was like the easiest thing to do, just work. And then they wanted to go to far places. They started using animals, and then they saw water at some point, and then they had to cross water. Then they came up with ships and boats, canoes, and fast forward to now, we have airplanes, we have rockets, and Elon Musk wants to take some of us to the moon or to Mars. But the thing is, the problem is still there. The problem never changed. What changed is how we solve the problem. That's one thing you should know. So if you have a product you're working on, you're a product designer for a particular product, have that at the back of your mind that people will always move forward if there's something better, if there's something new out there that solves their problem in a much um, more effective manner. So the problems do not go away. Let's talk about some examples when it comes to personalization. Netflix. So when you open Netflix, the home screen is not just random. Every movie, every TV show is recommended to you, and it's based on your watch history. It's based on your ratings, your preferences. The app learns your interest over time as you use it. So if you love action movies and they notice you've been seeing lots of action movies, you will be seeing more of them. If you are the one that likes Korean movies, that's what they will be giving to you because they want you to keep coming. Once in a while, they could introduce you to some outliers, but they wouldn't want to just throw you. They will still want to like show you what they know you like. So if maybe there's like a new blockbuster and they feel like, oh, this one is new in your country, they can show you that blockbuster, but on your page, you will still see more of what you like. So if you watch romantic comedies, Netflix will suggest similar content. That's the level of personalization that makes users feel like Netflix knows them. And it works. Keeping it works because a lot of people keep going back to watch some of those movies. Another good example is Spotify. Spotify every Monday has this thing called Discover Weekly. So Spotify creates a custom um, Spotify. This is what it looks like. So Spotify creates a custom Discover Weekly playlist based on your listening habits. The songs are carefully selected using an algorithm that analyzes what you've been listening to before. So this personalized playlist, they give you every Monday, and it gives users fresh and relevant content every week. And it keeps encouraging them to return. And that's why Spotify seems to be like a lot popular out there. So that's that on personalization. Let's move to consistent value delivery. If a product stays um, the same for long, like it stays the same, it has not changed, users will lose interest. Let me give you guys a very good example. Nairaland. For a long time, Nairaland just remained the same, and it's been working. And some people still use it. That's because it's very functional, even though it's just basic. But because they didn't evolve over time, I'm sure a lot of us don't even go to Nairaland anymore. I remember back in the day, like I used to go to Nairaland a lot. If you compare Nairaland with Reddit, Reddit is like the Nairaland of the world. Reddit is always improving. Like I use Reddit a lot, especially when it comes to like figuring anything, like anything. If you have something you're trying to fix on your TV or on your laptop or an issue, just go to Reddit. Like just go to Reddit. Ask people or search for it. Somebody somewhere will have solved the problem and it will give you like detailed explanation. People will even record their screen and show you how they solved that problem. And Reddit has constantly been improving. So comparing Reddit with Naira, Naira has refused to evolve. And over time, a lot of Nigerians just moved on from it. Although there are still some people that use it. So a product can be exciting at first, but if it does not evolve, people will lose interest and regularly, um, um, new things will come out that will take your attention. Remember, nobody is sleeping. Like there's always somebody out there to come for you. So if you think you're the new kid on the block, your product is one everyone is using, somebody's hiding that throne. Somebody's coming for your throne. It's like Game of Thrones. Somebody out there is always coming for you. I'll give you an example again. Clubhouse. Remember during lockdown, everybody was at home and we were bored and everybody was on the internet. Even elderly people started doing funny things online and we were keeping ourselves busy. So Clubhouse came and everybody started having this large town square meeting. I remember joining several. And then there was another one that came, House Party, where, people were meeting people and all these products, they were nice. Like people really liked it. They got lots of users. But it, look at those products. Where are they today? The competition came from them. Twitter space killed Clubhouse. I mean, Twitter was like, everybody is on Twitter. So let us just have what Clubhouse has already to our own. And then everybody just went back to Twitter because we were already all arguing on Twitter and we were already all talking there. The only thing was that Clubhouse allows us to talk at each other and everybody can come and speak for their fun, whatever, on Clubhouse. So Twitter was like, let's give you guys what you want. So everybody came back home, like pretty guys. And then, Telegram added it. Now, there's WhatsApp, group chats. And then Clubhouse just faded off. House Party, the same thing. House Party died when TikTok Live came and Instagram Lives came. And, the rest is history. So companies like TikTok keeps users excited by constantly introducing new trends, filters, and challenges. I think I have something to show you guys. Yeah. I saw this on the internet, so I just put it here. 3 minutes makeup challenge. I don't know how they do this, but like TikTok just knows how to keep people busy. Like, and people jump on the trend. Then those of us on Instagram, they will bring it and come and show us. So they have these things that they, come up with from time to time that keep their people engaged. And these guys are so loyal to the brand. Like they call themselves TikTokers. Interestingly, I don't know if you guys saw when people were crying because they wanted to ban TikTok in America. I saw some videos on Twitter and I was like, wow. I understand that some people were making money. So somebody was like, imagine someone that makes like $250,000 from TikTok in a year. I mean, the person has no other job. Like the person probably doesn't even have anything they can do. But like they make a lot of money from it. And they really like the platform. So they were really crying about the ban and all that. It just shows you how TikTok has been able to like get loyal soldiers to join their crusade. And Instagram has been doing a lot to fight back. Interestingly, I think I heard that Instagram added this thing that can now allow you to add caption to your videos for free. Mark Zuckerberg is really trying to like get a lot of people to also be active on Instagram as they are on TikTok. Gmail, yeah, let's talk about Gmail. Gmail is another product that has always been there ever since they kicked Yahoo away from the space. I used to have a Yahoo mail, but I didn't remember what my mail is, and I don't think I know my password anymore. But all of us switched to Gmail. Yeah, I think it was last month. So there's this lecturer of mine that came to Lagos and we he reached out and we met. So I was trying to help him do something on his laptop and I asked for his email and he gave me Yahoo Mail. And I looked at him like he was from well, he's actually an elderly person. But I was like, bro, it was like, yeah, people say that a lot that I'm still using Yahoo. I said, I can't remember what my own is. It just shows you how Google came with Gmail and they were able to deal with like the competition. So Gmail is not, okay. Interestingly, I'm sure there's some children that will be born that will probably never know that Yahoo had a mail service. Maybe because of this Yahoo Yahoo thing that they say. They might even hear Yahoo Yahoo, but they might not think it in the sense, oh, there was something called Yahoo Messenger because they might never even know. That's how crazy it is. So Gmail is not just an email service. It's they've been doing a lot and they've been evolving. They've been evolving with people over time. That's how they've been able to stand the test of time. They've added features like Smart Compose, Priority Inbox. Then now they have AI-powered email categorization that continuously improve your user experience, ensuring that Gmail remains useful and relevant because they know that there is always somebody trying to come for them. Okay, let me digress a bit. Let's talk about Google. So, Google has always been that company that has everybody's data. I mean, everybody has a Gmail. Everybody has a Gmail by force. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant to say. So I wanted to say that everybody has a Google product by force if you have a Gmail. So once you have a Gmail, you automatically they start like kind of introducing you to your product. I know some people might not use YouTube as much as others do, but like you have access to YouTube, you have access to Google Drive. They don't have to get you to sign up for those platforms. That's one single email that you have. Just that one single email gives you access to their ecosystem of products. Google Meet, Google Calendar, everything. So Google has everybody's data kind of because a lot of people use Google products. And I mean, we were thinking they will be the next big guys in AI. So something happened. Out of the box, ChatGPT, OpenAI came on board and they released ChatGPT. And everybody went crazy about ChatGPT and we started using it. Interesting, let me show you something. When a new product comes out, people do not care about design at that time. People care about functionality. So there is something that happened when ChatGPT came out. The login page for ChatGPT that time, it had this design flaw. I am trying to look for it on Google. I hope I can still find it. Aha, this is it. This one here. So, as designers, we never put two buttons together, like two primary buttons. One is supposed to be like a primary button, and one is supposed to be like a secondary call to action, right? But everybody saw this, but nobody cared. We just wanted to use the product. So when a new product comes out, design is not really what, like, everybody cares about functionality at that point. Then later, you notice that they've improved their onboarding experience. They've hired designers. Looking at what ChatGPT looks like back then compared to now, it is way different. Like, it has improved. They now have active feedback. In fact, some days ago, their designers released some new set of interaction and some form of design. They improved their type, their lettering. They did so many things. That's just to tell you that when a new product comes out, design is not usually people don't care about design at that point. They're like they want to use that product. Even TikTok. Let me show you something. So uh there is this rule in design that I don't know how many minutes I have more. Can you hear me? Maybe let me know. So I'll know.
Okay, you have like 5 minutes more.
Oh
Yeah,
jeez.
so we'll be
Okay,
taking questions after that. Yeah.
okay. I think I'll should I talk about this? Okay, let me just not talk about it because of the time. Okay, so back
Okay,
to
but you can go ahead. Let me just give you like a few minutes more, so you can go ahead.
okay. So okay, thank you. To buttress
Yeah.
our point about why people don't really care about design and all that at some point, if maybe a product is new. So look at okay, let me share this page. So pay attention to Instagram. You notice that Instagram uses what we call line icons a lot. Only the selected icon is filled. So if you look at this, sorry, it's loading. You see that the home icon is a fill icon, but every other thing is a line icon. So that means they are using the line design style for their icons. And when you're looking at, I'm trying to go to a live page where maybe where you're checking a reel. Oh yeah, this is it. So you notice they maintain that this is difficult. Like, but what they had to do is if you look closely, there's like I don't know, later on your phone you can check. They have this dark shadow at the back of the icon. Each of them, and even this text, there's this shadow there. I don't know if you can see it. There's always this dark shadow there because they don't know the kind of video that I'll be playing. So these icons might get lost. So let's assume the video playing is like a white background. And these icons are white. So they have this dark shadow that helps to allow this icon stand out. So no matter the kind of background, they are trying to be consistent. Now let's go to the Chinese guys, TikTok. Let me show you what they do. They don't care. They just change the icon. Like so they have you can see they have like line icons here. And here they just have fill icons. They probably put the line icons, it didn't work, and they're like, you know what? Let's just put it, let's make it big, let them see it. And there you go. Nobody cares and people are using it. But maybe as they move on, they improve. But that's it. Like they chose functionality there. Like they chose functionality. Companies like Airbnb, where the founder is a designer, are very strict. You look at Airbnb, even from the logo, and this is to maybe let some of you guys know when to use fill icons, when to use line icons, because you've probably been seeing those icons and you're like, you don't know when to use which one, or you use it because you feel like, no, you don't design with feelings. There's a reason for every design decision that you make. So if you look at the Airbnb logo, you see it's like a line, second line, there's no feel. It's just like a line, like an outline. And you see that consistency in their buttons, their input fields, their icons, here and there. Even when so there's something everybody does, like I showed you on Instagram. When it's the selected one, they go field. Google does that too. But Airbnb still decided to just color it instead. It works. It's obvious. You see it. Yeah. So they are quite rigid with their consistency. Yeah. So let's go back to our slide. They've given us some minutes, digression. Yeah. So I was talking about ChatGPT and Google. So Google was supposed to they had everybody's data, so they were supposed to like have the edge in AI because you need data to train AI. And then ChatGPT came and they wowed us. So Google panicked, and then they had this presentation demo to launch their own. I think they even called it, was it Llama? Then I can't remember the name before they changed it to Gemini, and it flopped. Like the AI misbehaved live. That day Google lost $100 million, and then they had to go back to the drawing board, and they bounced back. But it took them a while. But that edge that ChatGPT already has is there. And now, if ChatGPT is also feeling like they are the new kid on the block, I don't know if you guys have heard about DeepSeek. DeepSeek also came and it's another Chinese product. Trust me, the Chinese guys are crazy. Like, those guys are crazy. DeepSeek came and we just wowed everybody. Like, a lot of um, they did a lot of work with limited resources. So America doesn't allow China access to chips, and that's because they don't want China to like be ahead. There's like this politics thing that they are playing. So China managed with the few chips that they had, and with about $6 million, they were able to build this product that was, people were saying like it's a lot better and it's free to use. And a lot of people have started using DeepSeek as an alternative. But so they start questioning the billions of dollars that ChatGPT used to make their own AI. And I'm like, if the Chinese guys that didn't have access to powerful chips like you guys are using $6 million to pull this off, why are you guys asking us for billions of dollars? That's just to let you know that there is always the competition out there. There's always someone coming for your throne. So that's why companies are always, constantly iterating and improving on their product, because somebody is coming for you. Somebody is coming for you. So, for some reason, I think I'll just run through the rest of the points. Another thing is user feedback integration. I already talked about this slightly, but users appreciate when companies listen to their feedback and they improve the product based on their needs. This creates a sense of loyalty and it keeps them engaged. Figma, for example, when users request a new feature, the company actually listens. I remember, you guys know when that time when we didn't have auto layouts, when we were always grouping elements here and there. I mean, they gave us auto layouts and they quickly release updates to fix their errors. Remember this design that Figma did back then, and they changed it. There was this floating design that they first did, and a lot of people dragged them on LinkedIn, Twitter, and you know what? Figma humbly agreed and went back. They fixed it because there's no sense in you arguing with the people that will use the product. There's something we say: you are not the user, so just listen to what the users are saying. Reddit is another platform. Reddit's entire platform is built on user feedback and engagement. And that's why Reddit has stood the test of time. They have this voting system that allows people to decide which content appears on top of the feeds. It's been there for years and it's been working for them, ensuring that the most relevant and valuable discussions stay visible. So if somebody reads your post and it feels like it's trash, you just downvote it. And then the post will just die in silent death. But if your post makes a lot of sense and they find it's helpful and it will be helpful to other people, they'll give you an upvote. And that way, you know, your post goes up. Another thing we should look at is ethical engagement. So some companies use dark patterns to trick users into staying longer. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what we call dark patterns. So dark patterns are like ways people, let me give you an example. You know when you jump on a website and they want you to sign up for like email subscription, and then they just put a modal on top and they don't let you do anything. Like you cannot do anything except you do what's on that modal. That's like a dark pattern there. So companies use that pattern to trick users into staying longer, but these short-term strategies often lead people into frustration and loss of trust. So ethical engagement builds long-term loyalty. It makes people feel respected. I'll give you an example here. So Apple has this feature called screen time. So Apple acknowledges that excessive screen time can be unhealthy. So that's why they've introduced screen time. It's a feature that lets you monitor and control your app users. So if you feel like you're spending too much time on an application, you can actually lock yourself out. So this shows that Apple prioritizes your user well-being over addiction. And then, it lets you trust them. Another one is Google Wellbeing. Google also has their version. So Google's focus mode and bedtime mode encourages people to take breaks from their devices instead of forcing you to stay glued to the screens. So Google is in a way also promoting healthy digital habits and leading to more positive user experience. So in conclusion, by understanding user behavior and applying these strategies, you can design experiences that attract users and keep them engaged over time. The best products don't just grab attention, they create meaningful, valuable experiences that make people want to return again and again. So if you want people to stay on your product, make sure that their experience is frictionless and it's rewarding. Let them feel like they are getting value from using your product. Then also keep evolving. If you stay the same way for long, somebody is going to outdo your past. And then people will move to that product. And also build trust. Let people be able to trust your product. Like I said earlier, ethical engagement creates long-term loyalty. And it's a wrap. Please, can we have the slides after me? Okay, yeah. Sure.
Wow. Thank you so much. What an amazing section so far. Our speaker has done an amazing, work today. And thank you so much. We're glad to have you speak to us today.